This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Welcome to today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm Roby Brock. Thank you for joining us. I'm joined by Anna Beth Gorman. She's the Executive Director of the Women's Foundation of Arkansas. Thank you so much for being here, and it's good to meet you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys have a new benchmark study, Economic Indicators for Women in Arkansas, the state, the region, the country. We are going to dive deep into this particular study that is pretty landmark in terms of what you're looking at here. Tell me a little bit of kind of what the survey is supposed to be reporting on, what its findings are, and what you're seeing in it.
So let me start too with why, like the why. So as a Women's Foundation of Arkansas, we're concerned with women's economic security, but we needed to know what we didn't know. And we, for too long, have relied on outside sources to tell us about the status of women in Arkansas. And in this state, we can make a lot of assumptions based on where women live and what's kind of going on. And we can compare that to national statistics, to statewide statistics. But for the purpose of our work and where we want to move the needle and make impact, we needed a better understanding, so we commissioned the Arkansas Economic Development Institute to do this study for us, and we identified about 8 economic indicators. There's a lot of questions on what does economic security look like, and you and I could probably spend a lot of time going
about like poverty and wages and education and a lot of things that kind of go into all of that.
Right, so our team of researchers really kind of identified 8, and they looked at statewide, regional, and all the way down to county. And where we could, we looked at variation on race and ethnicity. And we discovered along the way that's actually really hard based on what data is available, like to actually even drill down to that level. And that's the kind of stuff we're gonna need if we're gonna actually make changes.
Sure, and for verification purposes, I want to make it clear to everybody, you didn't do a Facebook survey on this.
We did not.
This is hard economic data.
That's right.
From U.S. Census Bureau, a lot of the stuff that's accumulated
American Community
there.
Survey data.
Yeah, so a lot of places where that data is pretty trusted and pretty presumed impartial. So
absolutely, and in the back of our report, we have all the methodology and really the citations.
So let's talk about what we learned in this report. What were your biggest takeaways?
So when you look at the biggest takeaways, unfortunately, it's not a positive outlook for the status of women, and we knew that going in. Again, we understood that in our state we had a problem with educational attainment, and then that kind of really goes across the surface of other economic indicators. When you don't have the education level, that's going to impact a whole variety of other issues. But what was really interesting was to see it broken down by region, by county. So you could really see outliers, and then you could also see, what was happening in counties like, man, why is that happening to women in this county? And now we need to know more. We need to understand more.
My 2 big takeaways, because I drilled down in all of this too, is number 1, Arkansas trails when you look at us versus a national average in terms of how women are doing, but we're not that far off of some of the national averages. I mean, it's not a canyon, it's a valley, but it's not, it's not enormous or not able to overcome. And then the other is the regional stuff that you talked about there. We have some pockets of folks doing well and some pockets of folks doing horrible, and the discrepancies might just be 30 miles apart in some parts
Absolutely.
of it. So I thought that was very interesting, which is not surprising when you look at where population breaks down and some things like that. So, all right, so tell me, what are you going to do with this information now?
So the next part is, and something that we didn't do is we didn't make recommendations in this report. We truly want this to be a resource. Like, we want other stakeholders to use this. I want legislators to use this. I want other state agencies, I want other nonprofits to use this data in their work. The next phase for us is to go to those outliers, those communities, those counties, and meet those women. And I heard one of our researchers, our team of researchers yesterday, used this great word. She said, we should really be looking for the positive deviant. That woman in that area that has been successful despite this or what's happening, and get their story.
What's
her secret sauce? And can we replicate that across Arkansas or across the region where it's needed?
And in doing that and kind of just putting the information out there and not doing the policy recommendations, that would lend itself to, if you have a conservative bent on potential solutions or a liberal bent on solutions or a little bit of both or down the middle, everything's kind of on the table for approaching these problems.
Absolutely. I mean, we look at ourselves as a collaborative advocacy arm. You know, we really want people at the table, and we want to present them with, to your point earlier, you know, this is actual research, these are actual statistics, here's the story. You know, we are sharing it as, you know, for you as a tool in the work that you want to do. Of course, we would love to get people around the table who want to come up with some solutions, but that's not the purpose of what our foundation does. I mean, we really are a foundation that, at the heart, I mean, we want to work on economic security. We do it through grant making, convening, research, and programs.
Yeah. So last question for you. You don't really, this is a benchmark study, so there's not a previous benchmark study to go to and say, this is where we were 50 years ago, 25 years ago, 10 years ago. Do you plan on going forward with this in some sort of increment? Or?
So the great thing too is that now that we have the report, the data is going to be housed with the Arkansas Economic Development Institute, and we can actually, yes, we can benchmark it and use it. And that's really what's exciting for us and the University of Arkansas, Little Rock, that they own, we house it. So anyone now can look at it, but we absolutely can see where we're moving the needle. And, you know, some of the data that we found too, and your point is like, we have been coming a little bit, you know, and so we can, in 5 years, we can see if implementing this or working in this community, did it have results that we wanted?
So if I wanted to look at this online, besides talkbusiness.net, well, we will put a link in a story about in our conversation, where else can you find this online?
So by this Friday, we are going to have it up on our website under our research tab, and that's womensfoundationarkansas.org. We have a nice little research tab there at the very top, and has a collection of all the reports that we've published.
All right. You'll come back and talk about other issues with me sometime?
I would really greatly appreciate that.
Anna Beth Gorman, Executive Director of the Women's Foundation of Arkansas. Check out this report at the website she mentioned or at talkbusiness.net. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to be with you. That is all for today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm Roby Brock. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Arkansas Electric Cooperative Corporation provides electric energy across 2/3 of Arkansas. This is an exciting time in our energy history, with incredible progress being made in renewable energy and storage technologies. As our energy portfolio continues to diversify, we'll maintain an all-the-above strategy to provide reliable and affordable electricity. Ever since the first light bulbs were placed in our members' homes, the electric cooperatives have been the solutions provider for our members, and we want to continue that well into the future.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America, moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.